Hachette Audio presents More Than Words, a love story. Written by Mia Sheridan. Read by Chelsea Hatfield and Jean-Paul Mordrake. This book is dedicated to Judy for helping me see the feathers.
Prologue. Jessica, 11 years old. The night was dark and I took a tentative step forward, the dry summer grass crunching softly beneath my feet. Stormy? No, it wasn't even misty. I squinted at the pale sliver of moon overhead. It wasn't even really dark yet. The evening sky just beginning to take on a deeper twilight blue. A dog barked somewhere in the distance, and then it grew quiet again, my footsteps echoing around me as if I were the only person alive in this strange, treacherous land. Lonely, I finally decided, whispering the word. I squared my shoulders, summoning courage. The night was dim and lonely, and yet the princess continued on her journey, believing with all her heart that the prince wasn't far behind and that he'd rescue her. All she had to do was hold on to hope. I kept walking, my breath hitching as my pulse sped up. I'd never walked this far from home before, and nothing looked familiar. Where am I? As the sky turned gray, lights suddenly blinked on up ahead, and I moved toward them as if they were a beacon, a guide. The stars glittered in the sky, and the princess followed the brightest ones. Sure, they would lead her to safety, and my stomach growled, louder than the soft rise and fall of the cricket song in the evening air. Food. A slope stood between me and the glowing lights. What I could now see were street lamps, and I began making my way up slowly. I clutched my book in one hand, using my other hand to balance myself on the steepest sections. The princess was tired from her journey, and yet she gathered her strength and scaled the cliffs, knowing that she would be able to see where she was from higher ground. Perhaps she'd spot the prince, galloping toward her on his trusty steed. The lights were very close, and when I reached the top of the incline and emerged through some bushes, I was standing in front of a set of train tracks. I let out a harsh exhale, looking one way and then the other, turning around.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?